Hello and welcome to Cheep Jokes once again. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got a microphone set up today, so hopefully it's working. Just give me a second to get set up. I didn't want to keep you waiting too much longer. Okay. So, just move this over here. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be making another Itchy and Scratchy video today. Just turning some lights on here. And we've also got a live chat happening as well, so if you've got any questions throughout the show, you can message in and I'll try answer them for you. So I'll stop occasionally to check in on those. Now I've just got to get the lights in order. So I've got two lights that I use for the filming. I've got one right above us, and it's got a bit of paper over the top. So just like this, it's a normal desk lamp, and you put a bit of paper over the top, and it sort of diffuses the light and makes it not so strong. So there's one right above the set, and there's also this one here, which is just for a bit of front lighting there. All right, so let's set that up. Now, I've got the camera here ready to go. So I don't actually use my phone anymore. If you dig back in some older broadcasts, older videos I've made when I first started, I used to use the phone to film all of them. Now I have upgraded to the camera. It's a lot smoother and clearer. So tripod, for obvious reasons, it keeps the camera in place. And means you won't have it moving around. I've got this, goes in the side of the camera. This is a shutter button. So instead of hitting the button on the camera each time, I use this, and that keeps the camera perfectly still. So very important when you're shooting stop motion to keep the camera still. You don't want it to move one bit at all. Otherwise, everything will be out of whack. So that's very important. Okay, just hooking up the tripod here. Alrighty, so this is the set we're going to be using for this shoot. I did have a couple of bits and pieces here set up, ready to go. Bring it around here a bit more. So we've got the camera, we've got the set. Can actually bring it a little bit closer here, so I don't have to reach as far to move it. Now, before I start filming, I get all my pieces out and ready to go, so I'm not fumbling around, wasting any time trying to look for them. They're all here ready to go. So, the stars of today's show, as I said, we're doing another Itchy and Scratchy episode. So, we have Itchy. I think Itchy's the mouse. Scratchy. And Catwoman. So they're our three main stars of the show. Also got a couple of little props here that I'll be using throughout, so you'll see these come into play soon enough, and what we're going to be using those for. And I've also got, funny enough, the Scratchy's going to die at the end, so I do have some spare pieces lined up here for the explosion at the end. You'll see. Hang out and wait for that. All right, now I've just got to set up the camera here. So I grab one character in my main filming point, which is right center in front of the camera here. Just another couple of spare pieces I remembered I'm going to need. Eyeballs. You probably remember I used these in the last Itchy and Scratchy video I made, which has been quite popular. It's gone quite well so far, which is great. So we've got Scratchy in front of the camera there. Turning the camera on. Now remember, if you go to CheepJokes.com, in the along the top menu panel, there is a contact section. Click into that, and there's a live chat button just in the middle of the page. Go into that, and whilst I'm filming here today, I'll endeavour to answer some of your questions if you've got any. So we haven't got anyone on the chat thing at the moment. That's okay. We're just getting started. Got a couple of viewers, which is great. Alright, these are just rolling around. I'm going to move these over here. Now, there's nowhere special. I get asked a lot where I get my Lego from. There's nowhere special. I just buy normal sets. As you can see, I use the modulars here for the background. They're nice and detailed. They look good on camera. Lots of colors. And then for bits and pieces like this, like the flames, it's just a bunch of headlights. You get spare parts, and I've got a little. Let me bring this over. I've got just one of these storage containers to keep all the spare parts in for when I'm filming. Alright, so I use a manual focus setting on the camera, so I've just got to line the shot up first before we get into that. Okay, so just get this lined up, and we'll lock off the shot, keep it in place. Alright, let me bring the camera around here, and I'll show you the view of what I've got. Hopefully I don't knock everything off the desk here. Okay, so we got to see I've got my little viewfinder here. That's the shot we've got set up, and you probably can't see it too well, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I've just got to focus that shot now, and we're pretty much ready to start filming. Okay. So just using the manual settings to get this as sharp as possible. So I put a little character in my my zoom length here, so I know whereabouts I'll be shooting. It's nice and clear on the viewfinder now, which hopefully will make for a good shot. Now, so what this video is going to be, obviously Itchy and Scratchy, one of the characters is going to end up getting hurt, and I think we know which one it's going to be. So let's get started, I guess. So I've got the camera set up, got all this. Let me just give Instagram a quick refresh. We'll see if there's any questions before we get started that I might be able to answer. Okay. I've got one here. We've got Liam Markovsky, who will be tuning in shortly, so hopefully you make it on there, Liam. Let's say, looking forward to seeing you! Exclamation point. Alright, so hopefully Liam makes it on here to view. Okay, so what I'm going to have is Itchy the mouse here carrying Catwoman into the center of the screen. What I usually do as well, let me just find a thingy. I set up a little, a few markers. So if you know anything about sort of stage acting and things like that, they always have markers on the stage of where their spots would be, where they've got to stand. So I do the same thing. I mark it here. I know my character's got to stand about here to be in front of the camera to line him all up. and also what row he's going to be on as well. So they're just a couple of tips I use so I can remember where I'm going to have all the characters standing. All right, so let's get started. First shot here. This is going to be kind of tricky because I've got Itchy's going to be a little bit top heavy because he's like actually carrying Catwoman here, but let's see how we go. Try to lock him down and won't make it too hard. Let me just do a couple more test shots. I don't want this to come out too dark, and I think one of my settings is out of whack on the camera, so let's find out. Want it to be nice, clear image. It's a bit dark. When you get lighter. That's too light. Okay, that looks good. Okay. We've got a message via the website. Let's just see what the question is. This is a nice message from a fellow called Stanley, it looks like. Here we go. Let's I'll give you a look at that. See if that focuses. So Stanley says, "Hey CheepJokes, just want to tell you that your videos on YouTube are awesome, especially your Sig Fig and your Cheep Jokes comedy club." So thank you, Stanley. Appreciate the feedback. All right, let's get filming. So first shot is an empty set there, and we're going to have Itchy bringing Catwoman into the middle. So I'm going to step Itchy forward one row of bricks at a time. He's still out of shot at the moment, but you can sort of start to see his shadow move in. Hopefully you can hear the camera clicking as we go. It gives you an idea of how many frames we actually use when making a stop motion. It's, you know, it might only be 15 seconds on YouTube, but it actually takes a fair while to put all this together. So here we go. He's in the center of the screen now. He's going to start dropping Catwoman into place. I'm just moving Itchy's head a little bit to the right each time as well, so it's like he can see what he's doing. I'm going to tilt him a little bit here as well as he starts to put her down. It's the problem with these when you're turning on an angle, they do fall over, which makes it kind of hard. Okay, he's got her in place, and I'm going to just have him moving his arms up and down like he's tinkering with her, as you'll see shortly what we're up to with this. It's almost like a bit of a workout doing this. Your arms are swinging back and forward the whole time. Moving these characters just a tiny little bit each time can be kind of exhausting, but that's how it is for doing these stop motions. Alright, so he's just putting this in place. Alright, so let's swivel him back out of here. And then he's going to run off out of frame. Okay, now have Itchy here walking away. Try to get some arm movement in there with him to make it a bit more exciting. I'll just move the computer there a little bit closer so you can see better. So it's a little bit slower this one because I'm going every half brick because he's not going to be off balance by Catwoman, but it'll add a few more frames. It'll be worth it. Make the video look a bit better. So he's about 5 rows from being out of frame at the moment, so we've got a little while to go here. Remember, jump through to www.cheepjokes.com. That's cheap with a double E, like a chicken. Go to the contact tab and find the live chat thing. And if you've got any questions, send them through right now, and I'll try to answer them for you. How's this for multitasking? Making a live YouTube broadcast about stop motion while filming a stop motion and attempting to chat live to people to answer their questions. Living the dream. All right, he is out of shot now. So we can lose Itchy for the rest of the show. Now, what we're going to have now is Scratchy. He's going to walk up and see Catwoman, and I'll show you what he's going to get up to from there. So this is fun. So Scratchy actually has legs, so we've got the fun of moving him a tiny little fraction each time. And this is the first Lego where they've actually, well, that I know of, that they've had a piece between the legs and the torso connection, which is good. The tail is a good feature, but it kind of doesn't lock in very well and makes him a bit loose to control, but that's how it is. Now, we started from a little bit far back. He's not even in frame yet. Here we go. All right, we'll start there. This video, I'm afraid I might have to make some sound effects, which I didn't really like doing many of the voices and things myself, but unless there's someone else around or I can find sound effects to help, you just got to do it. And the important thing about when they're walking is to make sure you're swapping the legs over each time. It's quite easy to do left, 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 right, and you forget what you're up to. And also moving the arms in the opposite direction to the legs, because that's just a natural balance thing of how humans walk, or cats in this scenario. All right, so I'm going to have him stop here. He's seeing Catwoman, and he looks at her. And he's going to fall in love with her, which I think Itchy is. It's a common sort of thing for Itchy to play a trick on Scratchy like this. And as I said, it's good to have all your pieces ready before you start filming, otherwise you get to points like this and realize you haven't got the pieces that you need, and then you're not trying to figure it out. So what I'm going to do is you know in cartoons how when they fall in love, they have the little love hearts come out from around them, sort of surround their heads. So I'm going to get a bit creative here. I'm going to stick a bit of blue tack. Not too sure what you call it in other countries, but the brand name in Australia is blue tack on the back of Scratchy's head with a little remote control sort of thing here, which is going to act as my love hearts. So this bit of blue tack's just going to go behind his head here, which is actually out of shot of the camera. So it's just a little trick to do that. And then I'm going to stick these, what do they call it, little aerial sort of things on behind his head, and I'm going to move them around each time because that's how it works in the cartoons. Fall in love and these things go flying around everywhere. Just do another one. Then sometimes I just reuse frames, kind of like a looping them around, save some time, and it looks just as good. There we are. So we've got 3 of those with the thingies around his head, so we can get rid of those now. And Catwoman's not giving him any look, so they're gone, and he's going to look forward. And he's going to run back the way he came. So I'm slightly turning him around here. It's kind of just a on the foot pivot. And you don't have to do each step on this one. So we're going to have him running now. So I don't have to do every tiny little step. I can actually jump forward a bit because he'll be moving so quick out of frame. You won't get to see it anyway. Okay, and he's out of frame. And what's going to happen is he's going to bring her back some flowers. Let me just give Instagram a refresh here, and we'll see if anyone's got some new questions. Oh, there's a bit of activity. Okay, it's Stanley Bricks 22. He's trying to find the YouTube channel, so hopefully he's logged in. Alrighty, so hopefully Stanley there finds his way to watch how we make these. Alright, so Scratchy's gone out of frame. He's gone to get some flowers for Catwoman. Now he's going to head back in. Alright. So I'm just going to find his out of frame position. Alrighty, so whoops. He's got no balance. Alright, here we go. So once again with the walking. Not the most fun thing to do, but once again that's stop motion and every frame counts. So his flowers have just hit in shot now, so it's sort of watching what you're doing here and watching the little viewer on the camera so I can see where I'm up to, what actually looks good in frame. It's easy to get it all right the first time because having to do reshoots is really hard. Having to line everything up perfect the way it was, getting the lighting the same way. There's so many inconsistencies and variables with stop motion that it's easier just to get it right the first time. Alright, he's approaching Catwoman here. A few blocks away still. Still haven't got anyone coming on to have a chat, so CheepJokes.com, go to the contact section and go to the live chat. I'd love to answer some questions for you guys while we're on here. Okay, let's get one more step forward. And let's see if Catwoman wants to accept his flowers. Okay, so she's there, she's not looking at him, she's not moving at all. He's turning his head at her, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm just swiveling his head slightly. And she's not acknowledging him, so we're just going to like tilt him forward to make him look a little bit sad. So that's another thing when you're doing these in the characters' movements. You want to kind of express their emotions with the movements that they've got. So I mean, Lego does have a bit of movement, but yeah, you got to use it to your best advantage and sort of overplay those characterisms of how people move and react in situations. So I'm just lowering the flowers now because he's going to pop them on the ground and leave them behind because the flowers didn't impress her. So he's going to go get something else. So I'm just going to pop those there. And we'll turn him back around. So once again, let's swivel him and make him run off. All right, let me just check the chats and see if we've got anything exciting happening. Okay. So, looks like we're still streaming all okay here. So I was just checking that it's all logged on and running okay. It's a bit hard to multitask, but we've got this. Okay, so we just got Scratchy running off again here now. And we'll see what he's going to bring her back this time to try and impress Catwoman. So he's out of frame. Let's give him a couple of frames to go find something. Whoops, his legs came off. Now, this time he's going to bring her back a bird from the pet shop. So, let's put it in his hand. Hopefully this impresses her this time. Alright, so getting him into the walking position. And let's just start him just outside of frame. And I'll just move him up a little bit so he's not going to knock those flowers when he gets into shot. And back to the walking one step at a time. Left, right, left, right. Okay. Let's just check in on Instagram, see if anyone's got any questions. Nope, just some random things going on. Okay, so Scratchy is starting to get into shot now. You can see the bird's head. Alright, it's getting closer. Okay, so once Scratchy makes it to Catwoman here with the bird, what kind of reaction do you think you'll get? If I know anything about Itchy and Scratchy, which I like to think I do, I don't think it's going to go down too well, to be honest. Let's find out. Alright, so he's here with the bird. Let's tilt his head and sort of present the bird to her. Turn the bird around as well. Might be a cool little feature. Nope, she's still looking at him, not very interested. So I'm going to walk him forward and have him put the bird over here on the fire hydrant, because that's where I imagine birds would sit, as opposed to trees in Lego City. Alright, just walking. So I've got to get him to turn a bit of a corner here, so I'll go a couple more steps forward. Oops, bird fell off, that's not good. So you see, once everyone thinks stop motion takes a while, which it does, but once you get a bit of a flow happening with your speed and getting the photos taken, it's not too bad. Okay, so Scratchy's just almost at the fire hydrant now, you can probably see. Okay, so he's kind of just knocked Catwoman. So a good spot there. So let's pop the bird on the hydrant. Lower his hand as he's sort of looking around at Catwoman. So there's a lot of small details here that you probably don't notice unless you watch the videos a bunch of times. But there are a lot of details that sort of make them what they are. So you know, go back through, have a look at some of the older videos and rewatch them a few times. Just watch all the finer details that are in place when you're filming. So we've just turned Scratchy around, and I'm going to have him take a step forward. Take a step forward. Now sort of look at Catwoman. He's a bit confused by her. So he's looking at her, trying to figure out what's going on. She hasn't moved the whole time. He's been trying to impress her. Hasn't looked, hasn't acknowledged. So he's going to take a step forward here. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to try and look under her mask and see what's going on. Oops. Just remember to always take your hand out of the shot. So he's looking at her again. Let's slowly move his arm up. Tilting towards her. And let me just pull his leg forward so we can get him in a bit closer to her. It's going to be kind of tricky because he's got such a big head. Alright, so he's in front of her. He's going to remove her mask, so just need to loosen her head a bit. Now, so I've pulled it up but not all the way off. Oops. So I'm just going to slowly move her head up each frame here, so it's in his hand. We're at the top, so that's all the way off now, and I'll put her head on the top of his hand. Getting back in the same position. It's going to be tricky now. And what I'm going to do is, again with the blue tack here, we have some dynamite on the end of the blue tack on the dynamite with the fuse. All right, another bit of blue tack. I'm actually going to stick it to Catwoman's head. So what happens is Scratchy's removed it. Just move her out of the way. He's removed her head. There's actually dynamite underneath. So we'll start lowering the head and the hand. What he's going to do is drop the head. I'll just blue tack it in place on the ground. So when what happens next, it won't move. So I'm going to get him to do a scared look. I've just got some clear bits here, so let's have a look. So I want to have him with the scared eye. So I've got the eyes off the snail that came in one of the Lego movie sets. And I'm going to stick those on Scratchy because it's a good cartoon effect to make him look scared. See? Looks pretty cool. So we'll put him there. And I actually want to just have him in the air a little bit as well. Actually, that's not going to work. So, see, a bit of hit and miss here with the Lego. Just line him up a bit. Ready for the explosion. Okay, remove his new eyes that we just gave him. Here. Alright, you know what? We're done with Scratchy now because we're going to go into a bit of an explosion. Actually, we could probably lose Wonder Woman, Catwoman here as well. Pop her over there, put the blue tack back. And let's add in some fire. So, just all the bits that we got ready earlier. Got the red sort of flames and whatnot. Orange on top, of course. Okay. I've just got this flame little thing going on, a little bit time consuming there. And then I'm just going to move the flames around each shot. So same flames, different position. Makes it look like it's alive. Oops. These are fiddly. I've knocked everything over. Okay. Let's do another rotation. So the flames moving around. And you can always loop that. So I've done about 3 different flame positions, and can always just change that around. So it looks like they've gone. And then let's do the flame sort of dying down a bit now. So we'll take some of the red bits off the bottom. Okay. You see the fire is just getting smaller here. Let's just do a couple of photos with the smaller fire. Once again, shuffling them around. And we'll make it a little bit smaller again. It's all just adding to the effect. We'll do a video in the future where you can actually watch me edit, because that's a popular question. Could be quite boring, but I get a lot of questions about where you get the sound effects and all the rest of it. So it could be good. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is just have Scratchy's head here by itself. Actually, you know what? We've got some bones here from the pet shop I'll put down. Might be a good effect. Come here. Got to get it out. Okay, so I've got a couple of bones from the pet shop here that we'll put around here, and we're going to surround Scratchy with blood from the explosion. I just lost a bit of blood. Blood and bones everywhere. That's a shame. Let's do a bit more. Oops. Okay. So there we go, Scratchy's head. The blood and bones. And what do you reckon we bring Itchy back at the end here to laugh at him? Bit mean. But funny. So we've just got Itchy entering the shot here. And this is pretty much it. It's going to be pretty much done. So hopefully it won't take long to edit this one. There's only one shot, so there won't be adding in additional frames or anything like that. I'll probably use the Itchy and Scratchy opening that I used on the last one. A little bit of a theme thing going on there, which will be fun. And let's turn Itchy's head here. Excellent. All right, what I'm going to do as well, so that's that scene pretty much done. What I'm going to do, which I haven't actually done for a while, I'm going to move that back. get this out of the way, all the props here that we've just used. Bring in the Cheep Jokes Comedy Theatre. Now I started off doing this back, I think it was probably about my second or third video. I started doing a little bow at the end and sort of faded off here and there, mainly just because I forgot about it. But I think it's something I should probably keep up. So the point of it was the videos used to end too quickly and you wouldn't have time to process them when you're viewing them. So I added in just the characters giving a little bow at the end. And it sort of just helps you to sort of process it. You have a look at it, all the rest of it, and it's sort of good. Okay. Whoops. Let's just see if there's anything happening. Okay, so once again, I've just got to line this up and focus it because we've changed the angle a little bit here with this adding new set in. I'm just got to focus in. Now with Itchy not having the normal bendable legs as the taller, he's got the kid's legs. I don't know if that's what they call it, but that's what I'm going to call it. He can't bend forward. So what am I going to do? I'll get him just to sort of look at Scratchy as he bows. So first shot. Actually, I knocked the camera. Let's do another one. There we go. So as Scratchy bows down, Itchy looks at him. Actually, you know what's fun? And this is how a lot of my ideas do happen, is I think of stuff on the spot and decide to go with it. So while Scratchy is bowing here, Itchy is pulling out this sword from behind his back. And what will he do with this sword, do you think? He'll probably cut his head off. So let's bring his arm around here. Ooh, start off in kind of a tricky position. And Itchy's just raising the sword here while Scratchy's still bowing. And the sword is about to drop. Oops, not straight. There we go. Oops. Just got to remove Scratchy's head. Try to line it up so it looks good. He's got to still finish his sword movement. There we go. Let's have Scratchy's head sort of roll forward out of frame. That would be funny. So there we go. Just nice little way to end it there, with Scratchy getting mutilated twice, which is classic. Classic Itchy and Scratchy humor. We'll have him just turn his head back around to the front now. You know what? I think we're done. So now I've got the fun of editing this, which I'll see if I've got some time to do it tonight. I don't know if I will. Probably edit it tomorrow, hopefully get it online tomorrow so you can see what you've been watching for the last I don't know, almost an hour on what is being made. We have a flick through here on the camera. I don't know if this will show up too well, but you can see all the photos that we've just taken. See, there's his head just moving. So there's so many photos you got to do. So I'll put this all into a timeline. I use Final Cut Pro to edit, Final Cut Pro X on Mac. It's not one of the basic programs. It is quite advanced, but I mean, you get better quality out of it. It comes with a bunch of sound effects, so you can add things in. I highly recommend, if you're really serious about getting into stop motion and giving it a shot, to look into a better editing program and a good camera. iPhone or any sort of smartphone device where you've got an application where you can use an iMotion application to put something together, they are quite good. But if you are serious about it, you might want to upgrade and get some better equipment to use. Otherwise, that's it for now. As I said, I'll do another video in the future showing how to edit and how that process works. I just need to set up a camera that will display the monitor clearly enough. At the moment, this doesn't do it, so I'm not too sure how we do it. Hang on, might be able to do it actually. Let's have a look here. You know what, there's a share screen option. Let's give it a shot while we're doing this. Okay, let me get Final Cut Pro open first so we can test it out. So we'll just have a look on Instagram and see if there's anyone here with any questions for Cheep Jokes. Oh, we've got Lonas123 saying hi, so hello. Thanks for checking out the picture. Hopefully you tuned in as well to have a look at the live broadcast. These are becoming quite a regular thing, and there is another project I'm working on with myself, LLWorld. If you're not following LLWorld on Instagram, I highly recommend you do. He is hilarious. Okay, Idiot Box Radio said thank you, so that's great. Hopefully you tuned in, mate. Checked it out. Oh, my Instagram has crashed. That's not good. Okay. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just starting up Final Cut Pro to show you how the editing works. And you'll be able to see firsthand how it all goes down. I think I can do a screen share situation. I won't do too much of it. I've actually got basketball tonight, so I've got to head out shortly. Just so you know why I'm not showing you all everything, guys. Don't want you to be upset when I finish editing, maybe 5 minutes in, and you can't see the rest of it. It's just part of the game. Final Cut Pro does take a little while to load as it's such a big program, but I assure you it's worth it. It's quite complicated. You can get some really good editing from it. As I say, you can do sound effects and things like that, and I'll try to show you quickly some of the tips and tricks I use. So hopefully it should be loaded in a moment, because you're probably getting bored of me talking. So it's fun for you. You just have to listen. I'm sitting here practically talking to myself, you know. How do you think that makes me feel? Hopefully you've all picked up the Simpsons Lego by now. Found all 16 characters in the mystery packets. They're actually really good. Quality, like I can't imagine it's easy to get a one-dimensional or two-dimensional character off a cartoon screen and mold the shape of their heads, but they've done quite well. And it's not cheap for Lego to make new molds when they create a new piece. So to do practically 16 new molds for the heads, it's quite an exciting series that Lego to have made these. No doubt you've all seen the Lego movie also. Once again, go to CheepJokes.com in the contact section. You can chat to me live and maybe tell me what your favorite part of the Lego movie was. That'd be kind of cool. I got to see it a couple of times myself, but I am hanging out for it to come out on DVD. I think it's next week actually, or within the next couple of weeks, June. It's due on DVD, so we had to watch it as much as possible. Very exciting. Okay, so Final Cut Pro should be loaded pretty soon. Very sorry about the delay. It's not something I planned for in showing this, but while I've got the time, I thought we'll have a look at it. Check it out. Okay. This would have to be the boringest podcast ever right about now. I could actually, while we wait for it to load, I've got a little Star Wars set here I haven't built yet, so maybe I could get that out and build it. Would that be exciting? I don't know. For the whole handful of people that are watching, I don't know, you probably fall asleep. You're watching this to get to sleep. I don't know, you tell me. Come on the chat thing. Come and tell me, come on. Could be the most exciting part of the day. For me. For you? For me. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. So if you've just tuned in, I'm just waiting on Final Cut Pro to load so I can do a screen share and show you what I use to edit and just quickly how it all works. So thanks for stopping in. Hopefully this is ready soon. And hopefully the video we made turns out good. Otherwise this instructional video won't make me look very good as a stop motion creator. You'll see the thing, you'll see how I make it and be like, oh, that's a bit rubbish. He's not very good at stop motions, that guy. Not going to his website again. Unfollow. Don't do that. Prefer you to stay following on Instagram. It's a great little community we've got. I've just hit 10K followers, which is pretty exciting. Sort of get to chat to a lot of people from around the world who are interested in the stop motions, get a lot of questions, how to make them and things like that. So it's good that I'm able to do these live broadcasts and show you firsthand on how to actually do them. Come on, Final Cut. Yes. So come on to the live chat. Tell me where you're from. Send me a message on Instagram. Would love to hear from you. Tell me what you thought of the podcast. Be honest. It's okay. I understand that it's probably bad. I really understand that it's really bad. Okay, so here we go. I should be able to share my screen with you now. Here we go. All right. Check that out. All right, so you are now looking at, and I can show you how to edit a stop motion video. So I'm just rearranging everything here now. So what have we got here? So you can see it's just rendering some of the last project I was working on, I think, which I think might have been the last Itchy and Scratchy video. I couldn't see Final Cut Pro is quite complicated and it's got a lot of thinking involved, so it does take a while to get its act together here. So I'm sorry if this is a bit boring for you. Just unfortunately my Mac isn't the newest anymore and runs a bit slow. It's full of goodness, that's why. It's a Mac that's full of goodness. Lots of videos that I've made to share with you guys. slow it down. Okay. Come on, just waiting for it to catch up. Assuming you can see the I'm not too sure if you can see the display on there, but there's a loading thing that's on there which I'd love to click out of, but it's in the way. Okay. So don't forget to share my YouTube channel. I'd love to get more subscribers. The more subscribers I get, the more inclined I am to make videos. It keeps me motivated. If people stop subscribing, I'd probably stop making the video. So, you know, get onto it. The Emmett Goes to the Lego Movie premiere video has gone really well this week. I'm not too sure if some website or someone shared it, but yeah, it's gone crazy. It's super popular this week. It's getting about extra 5,000 views a day. I'm getting maybe 20 subscribers per day, which is fantastic. I'm up to 900 now, so you know, it makes me feel pretty good. And I wish Final Cut Pro would work right now so I can show you guys some editing. I've got a couple of minutes before I need to duck off, so I don't know if we're going to have enough time to do this. Okay, it looks like it's almost finished now. So as I said, I'm going to use the Itchy and Scratchy opening from the last video. It can be sort of the signature opening. It was pretty easy to make. I just used a couple of photos and managed to find the music from the Itchy and Scratchy show on YouTube and extracted the audio to use for mine. And then I watched a couple of Itchy and Scratchy episodes to kind of get the feel for it and sort of the music they used behind them to do the show. And I think I ended up using a Disney tune for the backing music, and it's sort of a light, cheerful thing, which Itchy and Scratchy sort of tend to use a lot. So something like that. With the video that we've just shot today, I'll use something similar, some sort of upbeat, sort of lovey sort of music. Hopefully we can find something. And then with a bunch of sound effects over the top. So we'll have the footsteps of Scratchy walking up and down the concrete footpath, and the explosion, another sound effect we'll need. So things like that. Alright, I think Final Cut is trying to kick in now. I can see we're sort of losing a few viewers here. It's a bit boring, but I'm going to keep going as long as it takes. As long as it takes. Alright, we ready yet? Okay, we're ready. So, move. Oh, come on. So that's not good. It can't find the files from last time. I think I've made you wait for nothing. I think my memory card's been playing up. Maybe it's overused. Okay. I think I might end the broadcast, unfortunately. I'll do the editing another time. Maybe tomorrow night I'll have the broadcast running while I edit, and you know, it can be two separate videos. People can watch how that was done separately. So, you know what? Let's leave it for now. I think it's been a pretty good. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the video to get it back so you can see. Whoa, you don't want to see that. So yeah, look, we'll end the video now. Hopefully you enjoyed the instructional video on how to make a stop motion with me talking over the top of it to give some sort of live hints and tips here and there. Send me a question, send me some emails. Love to hear from you guys. Make sure you go to www.cheepjokes.com. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lego Cheep Jokes. Subscribe, send it to your friends, get them to subscribe, show everyone. The more viewers we get, the better the videos get. And, you know, hopefully we can you know, keep doing these and keep you interested. So thanks for watching, and good night. Bye.